Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, people? Welcome back to Technocrats, where we talk about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can reach me anywhere here on these interwebs at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or via email, gtlee@thesphere.tv. And of course, sitting here with the lovely Miss Ari McKinney. Ari, what's up?
Hello, hello. How are you?
Doing well.
How's everyone out there?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
Good deal. I am at a 92% today.
Oh,
I started this week. I started this week at like a 43.
Well, that's a
boy's feeling horrible.
That's a vast improvement.
Like my admin sent me home. Like that's how bad it was. She was like, you need to leave. I was like, I got work to do.
It was one of those days.
I had to leave. Yeah, that was on Monday.
It was a mood.
Well, no, just sick. I was under the weather, congested, and nasal cavity issues.
You should have stayed home anyway.
I know, but I had stuff to do.
That's what they make work from home for.
I know, I couldn't
all
do
these
it.
technological tools.
Sometimes I feel tied to the studio in some form of capacity.
I get you.
So and things happen here that just won't happen at home. And plus,
I feel you.
So but I did get away and I got better, and over the week I progressively got better and better and better. So great concerts.
Self-care.
Saw some zoo lights. It's been a great week. Shout out to HMAC for their champagne and ribs. That was great.
What? I wasn't invited.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
You got to start putting me on.
Okay,
Like, hello.
I will.
I'm here every week.
I feel like sometimes it's a chore, though. Not to invite you, but
what?
having to be at places, sometimes it's like you're pulled.
Oh, I get that.
But you want to sow into people that sow into you.
Absolutely.
So
That's
for HMAC specifically,
important.
salute to the Houston Museum of African American Culture.
Yes.
They are doing tremendous work. Their efforts are astounding. And we just want to salute you here at the Sphere for what you do for the culture. And we support them. Full disclosure, the IT company has a contract with them, but we love what they do.
Absolutely.
And so, why not?
Do it for the culture.
Yeah, for the culture. One time. But we've got some tech news for the culture.
Yes,
and
lots.
when we're going to pop this off, we're talking about a lot of things today. Google, Apple, we're talking about China. Austin, we're going to talk about that. But we've got to start this off in one of our favorite segments, which is the digital trends.
Yes.
So, digital trends, we're talking about anything that's that new hotness, anything that's popping in technology, folks. We're talking about it right here on Technocrats. And we're going to kick this off with Apple. Apple. They're working in our backyard. They're getting ready to drop off a brand new $1 billion campus here in Austin, Texas. And let's dive into this real quick. All right, what do we have going on over in our good old neighbor Austin?
Over in my first hometown away from home.
Home away from home.
That was Austin's home. Shout out to Austin and UT. Hook 'em. So Apple has announced that they are going to be building a new campus in North Austin in addition to their standing campus, and it is going to add 5,000 new jobs with the potential to add a total of 15,000 jobs.
Yeah.
So they are now with this addition the largest private employer in the city of Austin.
Nice.
Yes, of course, they're looking at a beautiful new campus. Obviously, of course, run 100% on renewable energy, all the green things that Austinites love. But yeah, they also intend on building onto their already established campuses in Seattle, San Diego, and LA, as well as Boston and some other places as well. But this is huge, and it's kind of funny because it's a real stark contrast to the way Amazon went about their whole courtship of a new city. Apple was just like, boom, we decided we're dropping this. Done, easy, we're over it. Like, moving on.
And who was that? Amazon reminded me of LeBron making his
right.
decisions. It's like, what
What are you gonna do?
Everybody wants to know.
What are you gonna do? Everybody's sitting around waiting.
Exactly.
And then it was just like, oh. And then they went with two. So yeah, it was an interesting contrast. But this is great news for Texans, for the city of Austin.
Yeah, for the state as a whole.
For the state as a whole, I think it's probably going to pull a lot of good talent from some of these other cities, over there with more, the article wasn't specific as to like whether these would be, mostly engineering jobs or what exactly that would be. But I'm sure with 5,000 jobs coming, there's a little something for everybody there. So keep an eye out, folks, because that'll be, I'm sure, an opportunity coming down the pipeline real soon. Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, looking at this from a per capita perspective, obviously more jobs in Austin means a higher per capita, means more money into the state. Yes. Also does mean potential higher home values over time. So we got to keep that in mind.
It's already little California. Like, to me, it's not at all the city that
you grew up in.
No, that I moved to. I mean, I moved there in 2005. Lived there until 2013. It is. And I was starting to kind of see those changes happen then, but going back every now and again now, it's a completely different place. It's just, I don't think most folks could have, if they're not working at one of those major tech hubs there, could afford to live there. It's kind of becoming a mini Palo Alto, kind of Silicon Valley, Cupertino kind of place.
And it's so funny because all of these things in technology can trend over into other aspects of life, like politics and culture, because obviously most tech people are more progressive leaning than conservative leaning. So it will be interesting to see the shift and makeup over the next 5 to 10 years in Austin, which is probably more progressive than perhaps Houston is. I don't have the data in front
Austin
of me.
is having lived there for so long, it's the least Texas place in Texas, I would say. And it's it's like its own little kind of world there already. And to me, I think that kind of gap, that difference is already increased even more than it already was. Like, I was just kind of saying how homogeneous it seemed the last time that I went there, and I didn't quite, and I'm sure it was still that way when I was there initially, but it just wasn't as prominent to me anyway. But it's become very like, I'm very aware of it when I go there now, and I think that's only going to increase with this. But I think, like you were saying, you can tell that the cities that they've mentioned, in the article of, growing their campuses. And we got Seattle, we got San Diego, we got LA. They're all very liberal, progressive cities. And I think when we look at where Amazon or Apple, progressive companies like this have based their headquarters, it's, cities like this.
It makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I'm not shocked at all that they decided to expand in Austin. There's so many people moving there every day, and I guess to the Californians and New Yorkers who are doing their tech thing up there, or over there in those places, Austin's a lot cheaper. But for those of us that lived there before, it is becoming, unattainable to live there.
So, and here's a couple other things that pull at my heartstrings, so to speak. And Monique, we see you. She says domino effect in progress, I think is what she meant. And yes, indeed, as this continues, it will continue, and other things will trickle after
Absolutely.
it. But one of the things in particular, we had a conversation on this show several months ago, and I'm not sure if you were in on this conversation or not. It may predate you or not. We were talking about Hyperloop from Elon Musk, his original plans, and there's a plan to build what's called the Texas Triangle, which will be Houston, Austin,
Dallas.
and Dallas, right? So you'll be able to take this Hyperloop train, which runs in a tube, vacuumless, at speeds of up to 768 miles an hour between cities. You could literally live in Houston
and work in
be in
Dallas
Austin or Dallas in 20 minutes.
Which I believe I read recently. They've recently finally finalized at least they're gonna do the leg from here to Dallas first, and they're saying it'll take an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half
I saw something
to get
about
from
a
here to
bullet train about that for an hour and a half, and I was like, why are they doing a bullet train if there were conversations about the Hyperloop?
I thought it was the same. Okay, so
yeah.
it'll be interesting. Maybe we need to explore that maybe for the next episode. But whichever one they were talking about, they were saying that they've already gotten the all the bureaucratic
I think that was
to start, and it'll take but even that with an hour and a half to get from here to Dallas and back, you could work
backwards though.
You do?
Yeah, because if we're talking true technology, bullets is old news. They've been doing bullets in China since 90s.
You're right.
So, but if we incorporate Hyperloop, we're talking, what Elon Musk partially built, the Boring Company that's working over in LA right now. I know, right? The pun on words, right?
Pun on words.
The things that he built, the legislation that's already been passed in New Jersey, because they're doing a leg from I think Baltimore up to Jersey. So if we're going to bring the Hyperloop here, which would then make sense, right? To now be able to not just facilitate jobs in Austin, but someone in Dallas that wants to work in Austin, someone in Houston that wants to work in Dallas.
So that just changes the whole scope of the job, of just the scope of things, because those people that live where these campuses are located are not necessarily going to be, it brings up opportunity, and it makes it a lot more competitive.
Changes. You can almost stay anywhere, so now you're not as
you can
concerned.
live in Dallas and work in Austin every day. You can live in Houston, work
vice versa.
Any way you want to.
So commerce changes, everything changes. Second thing that I want to point out: this new build out, this new space will be 100% renewable energy. I wonder if they're going to partner with Tesla for some solar roofing, or maybe even some power walls on the enterprise side. So
now that would be very interesting. There's a lot to keep up with this. There's a lot of cool implications that can happen.
Yeah, we're just flip of the wrist.
We're here.
Shout out to Migos.
We're here.
Flip of the wrist. This is what we do.
We're here for all of it. We are here for all of it.
Jumping back and forth, but. We want to know what you all think. Hit us up. Yes. Shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv. Let us know how you feel about some of this. And Monique says effectiveness in regards to the travel costs.
Yes,
indeed.
Absolutely.
Travel costs go down when you can get places faster, because you got to worry about your finances.
Absolutely.
And speaking of finances, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. So, did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 38% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And another 38% said they don't have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or send them an email to info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finances are the new faces of the new age of financial services. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Get your money right, folks, because time is of the essence, man.
It really is
of the essence. Moving along on this hyperloop of digital trends that we're on. Let's talk about another tech giant, and we're talking tech giants all throughout today's show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another tech giant, and that happens to be good old Google. Mm-hmm. So some of you are familiar with the situation that occurred earlier this week or late last week going into this week. Google Plus had a security flaw that allowed 52.5 million people's information to get out. And obviously Google, they were held to the fire this time around, because last time they took a little while to make mention of a security bug. But this time they've been held to the fire, and they made mention of it, early and often. However, Sundar Pichai, which is your CEO over at Google, had to appear in front of Congress this past Tuesday.
Finally.
So basically, it was the U.S. versus Google. And here's the thing, right? Here's an opportunity for tech to really spar with the U.S. Congress on how tech businesses control data that they have. And one of the things that he went in front of Congress to discuss was the fact that they're looking to build some type of Google search engine exclusively for China. Now, we don't have all the details in on this and how everything wants to move forward. But what we've seen Sundar say is that there won't be any type of exclusive search that's just for China use that is not available outside of that perimeter. What we also know is that social media profiles have been leaned on by Congress, and that's an increasing push because of how tech corporates, tech giants, we just saw Facebook go through the same issue with how they are handling the requests they get internally and how they disseminate out user data. So I want to throw this question over to you, my dear. Mm-hmm. Being that we are connected and interconnected in ways that will continue to grow in one form or another, do you feel at some point these tech companies need to fall into some type of congressional jurisdiction where they all follow suit with how they manage or maintain data? Or do they stay individualized as private companies and it's up to their discretion how they manage our data as end users?
Woo.
Yeah, it got real. It got real here on Technocrats.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I think that had you posed this question to me a few years ago, I would have said that they are private companies that need to be able to do their own thing, and that as technologists, you need that creative freedom. However, I think that time has shown that these companies can't be trusted with our data. They don't seem to care. They don't seem to care. Their bottom line is their bottom line. I think that until the general public starts to understand the implications of their data being compromised the way they're like, I think most people don't get it. Yeah. Like, they don't understand. I had a friend of mine just tell me, like, I had somebody just buy, like steal my identity, buy, and it was like $20 for like learning software or like something like that. It was like not much, but it was just like little things here and there. And it was like charge $20 here, $20. And she's like, I don't understand. And then, we're both heavy travelers. And so I reminded her, like, Marriott Rewards just got, had a thing.
A data breach?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
well.
So everyone who's got Marriott Rewards, check your stuff.
Man, I'm sure I have an account too. Right? I need to make note of that. Hackers, I hate them.
The more you know. So, with that kind of stuff in mind, I have to say, yes, I think there should be some. Now, I don't want their tentacles in there so much that, we lose the awesome factor of tech, that we lose the like, oh, this is like people, the creativity of, the creators, the innovators. I don't want to lose that. But I think we can find a middle ground where we can let creators create without all of the general public having to suffer because, it's just one of those things that's weird. It's kind of one of those things like we're in a time when we're walking like uncharted territory.
Sure.
And sometimes when you're developing software, these new things, you don't know where
the future implications.
Right, where it's going to go and
Mhm.
how it might be used. A lot of times these things are, a lot of times, and coming from somebody who's worked, at Square, worked for Jack Dorsey, who, for those of you who don't know, is the creator of Twitter and Square. I get how I've seen it firsthand, how you can be on teams that are developing things for the purpose of one thing, and then it's the public that kind of starts using it for something else, and you go, okay, well, we got to kind of shift because this is how they've determined that we should use it. So, I think that if you curtail that too much, you lose a lot of what makes tech great.
I agree.
But I don't think we can keep going in this route, where we're kind of
Wild West.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. And Monique mentioned something right here on Facebook Live. She says that she thinks it's going to be a long time collaboration between government and these tech companies to come up with something that we can all follow for the most part. And I somewhat agree with you, Mo. Specifically, I don't think it'll be a long time thing. I think it's something that's going to happen drastically it's going to have to happen in a very fast manner because technology is moving exponentially. The growth is so fast in tech right now that we're talking about in a year from today, right? So before the end of 2020, we'll have fully autonomous vehicles on the road, meaning cars that drive themselves.
Right.
That poses a whole bunch of legal issues, but companies like Tesla and other companies, Audi, they're not holding back. They're putting software forward. They're rolling out beta testers on the roads and then rolling in features. We just got new features on Teslas about 3 weeks ago for end-to-end navigation. It's in beta, but basically once the car hits the highway, it will lane change. It will take the banks and everything autonomously. You have to get it to the highway and get it off the highway, but outside of that, it will drive itself on the highway. That's today. Elon Musk pushed that patch like a week ago.
Y'all, you should see my face right now.
So I mean, like we don't have the time is not of the essence. These private companies are moving forward. Government better do something to ensure that everybody's on a equal playing field when it comes to rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
Because if not, we're gonna have it's the Wild West.
The problem with the way legislation is done though is that it's generally it's historically been let's wait till things are screwed up. Like let's wait till this amount of people die and like there's public outrage or something happen. There's got to be some huge catalyst that happens in order for there to be retroactive, action.
Yeah.
And we're with tech, it's moving so fast, but I think the pushback is we're used to a justification for laws being in place, it's
something
funny,
occurred.
When I was born, late 80s, seatbelts were just becoming a thing that you had to have. Now it's like you need a 5-point harness for a kid. It needs to be this way. It's like NASCAR strapping a kid into a freaking car seat. Nowadays they've got fire people that'll come out and help you like learn to do it the right way, and you can't take a kid. It's like all these things. Like when I was born, 32 years, that wasn't a thing. They were just like, well, here you go, get them home. You know what I mean? So like we need a kind of like thing. We're used to having a thing where it's like, okay, all these people are dying in these cars. We can just strap this belt on and not have this happen so much. But I don't think we can approach everything that's happening in technology that way. I think it's and I think that's where the pushback is going to come. Is I think somebody, which when we talk about later the congressional hearing with Google, you'll see why that's laughable because the legislature coming up with being proactive about anything is laughable, let alone technology, because half of them don't understand whether Google makes their iPhone or not.
You're right.
So, that's, I think, where we run into the issue. Like, how do we do this? Because I don't think we can use the old model.
We can't. The old model's dead, folks. Dead. Just like that iPhone 3GS.
Exactly.
It's dead. And guess what? Facebook Live, y'all about to be dead. We're killing this thing.
Day.
We love y'all, Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in for this portion of the show. Obviously, we're going to keep things rolling, but you've got to go subscribe. And hey, we mean it. Head over to sphere.tv/Technocrats.
Yes.
Get us on iTunes, right on your iPhone. You have the podcast app on your iPhone. Get us there. If you got an Android phone, use Google Play. Get us there. If you got either one of them, you can download us on Spotify. Grab the Spotify app and do a search for Technocrats. You can find us on SoundCloud. Same way, search for Technocrats. You can find us on YouTube, Technocrats, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart. We're everywhere. Amazon Alexa, we're there. We're in your mama's kitchen right now.
No excuses, folks.
We're doing it all.
None.
Make sure y'all tune in that way. And, of course, while you're there, let us know how we're doing. Give us that constructive criticism. Help us help you all. So leave us those paragraphs. We'll take them. Those stars, those likes, even the dislikes. We're going to take it all because we want to build better content. We also want to know what you want us to review. So share it with your friends and say, hey, we think these people should talk about such and such. Share with your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with somebody you know that's talking about technology. You want to give them the insightful information that we're dropping here on Technocrats. And last but not least, support us. Donate. Head over to sphere.tv/donate or go to /Hungerthon. We've got a couple of options going on right now, especially for the month of December. We're doing a strategic donation to the Why Hunger campaign for Hungerthon 2018. Every proceed, every single cent that comes our way via donation on this link is going to go to this Why Hunger campaign, and their focus is ridding the world, not just America, but the world of hunger. So head over to sphere.tv/Hungerthon so you can donate today. Folks, we'll see y'all later. Show's not over because we're talking China. We've got to talk about Amazon and some dummy parcels for criminals. We got a lot of stuff to talk about right here at the Sphere.
Adios.
Let's keep this party rolling. Let's move over to. Are we ready to talk Amazon? Was that next? Yeah,
I think
we're
that's
doing
next,
Amazon.
sir.
Let's talk about it
I think we're closing with Black Mirror.
Because I know, right? Because I'm an Amazon junkie. I don't know about you.
I am. Okay. For those who don't know, I may or may not have stated on this show a few times that it would be a cold day in hell before I would get some sort of Alexa device in my house, and then behind this, I was very adamant.
You mad adamant?
I was very adamant.
You looked at me like I was crazy.
I was incredibly adamant.
Crazy.
And then Amazon had the nerve to put Echo Dots on sale for $29.99 a piece.
You couldn't resist.
And I was like, well.
Couldn't resist. And that's
the techie in me has got to. And it was the new one. So I was like, oh, okay, fine.
Oh, and it was $10 less.
And I might have a couple of them now. So yes, Amazon has become, they're my friend. Well, I've had Prime for a long time. Prime is like my.
Yeah. And I think we first fell in love with Prime. The idea of getting something in 2 days. I think that revolutionized.
He's not listening. I ordered his
gift.
Fire Tab yesterday. It came same day.
Come on.
Wait.
Come on. They got a warehouse up in the Woodlands, I believe. So
same day, people.
So obviously we all, for the most part, those who are tuned in, we love Amazon. We're taking all the technology, anything that they have to offer. They're dropping packages off to us left and right. It's increased push over at the mail office, at UPS. Everybody's working more because of Amazon and the packages that they're delivering. But with that also comes the idea that some people want your gifts, right? and 'tis the season for somebody to show up and show out.
'Tis the season for kleptomania.
And grab your Amazon packages.
Snatch and grabbing, baby.
Because of that, Amazon has decided to team up with the police, and they're using dummy parcel packages to catch some of these thieves.
I laughed so hard when I read this.
This is crazy.
Am I the
right?
only one that laughed so hard?
So get this. Over in Jersey, Amazon has had dummy boxes that are filled with GPS trackers, and they've got hidden doorbell cameras around houses strategically all around the city of Jersey. And because of that, they've already found that one box was stolen within 3 minutes of it being delivered. So they say they're roughly expecting to drop off 900 million packages coming up throughout Christmas. And they've got to find a way to keep thieves from stealing all of these packages. So, and here's the thing. It's funny as I don't know what. The fact that it got stolen in 3 minutes.
No, I'll tell you why this is funny.
Wow, what's up?
Because I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is hilarious because they employ the same things for cars up there.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'm willing to bet. Shout out to my Jersey peeps. Y'all will get me on it. I'm willing to bet they might be trying this out in a northern Jersey city that maybe starts with an N and sounds like New York. But
Perhaps.
because that's where they do they do the same thing with cars. They have bait cars and they do the exact same thing with those. And there's like an actual show about it. Like where it's called Bait Cars, I think, and it's legit. And so I'm laughing so hard because I'm like, yeah, 3 minutes. That's not shocking.
Yeah,
Like it's
all.
the same with cars.
At
So
all.
it can't be that different with Amazon packages.
Now, for those that remember, Amazon included a new service, or they were beta testing a service called Amazon Key,
Right.
which was for homeowners who had smart locks on their door. You would allow your packaging or parcel service to unlock your door and put your package in your home. That
Listen.
hasn't been widely accepted, to say the least. But they do have some strategic tips to hopefully help you keep from having your packages stolen. And so you may want to grab your digital pads and pens and jot these down. First and foremost, have your packages delivered to a workplace or to a friend who is home during the day. Another option is to insist that deliveries are always signed for, right, which may or may not be convenient. Another option is to install cameras that will give police some video evidence in case that something is stolen. And of course, last but not least, is to use a service that provides a storage box that drivers can unlock by entering a code on a keypad. And for those that are living in apartment complexes, you may now know those as Amazon lockers and other third-party services that have installed lockers, not just even at apartments, but at like convenience stores and other places where basically Amazon will leave a package for you, send you the code, and then you go to that particular box, put in the code, and you're able to receive your parcel. So there are a couple of options out
I've
there.
used it at Whole Foods.
Huh? You used it at Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I've helped install some of the Amazon lockers
cool.
with their network connectivity. But we want to know, have you had your package stolen? Have you had something taken from you? Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at the Sphere TV. Use the hashtag They Got Me. I just want to know. I want to know if you've had something stolen.
Yeah, the whole point
from
is
Amazon.
do not advertise that you've got a Amazon package chilling there. You know what I mean? But speaking of advertising.
Speaking of it,
This portion of the show is sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue coupled with your strategic ad is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Boom, shakalaka.
Chakalaka. All right, folks. Last but not least, on the tip for today,
Do it.
let's talk big China. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
y'all.
talk China. China has been a company that, let's just keep it a buck, man.
country.
Speaking of a buck.
Country.
Yeah, what I said? Did I say country?
You said a county company?
I thought I
I
said.
thought you said company.
Did I? That's crazy. I don't know why I said
Am I
that.
tripping?
They've
It
been
doesn't matter.
a country
Either
that
way.
has taken us on a financial journey and ride, because
Speaking of
they
a
own.
Hyperloop.
I know, right? They own half of America anyway,
Pretty
just by
much.
owning our debt.
You're
Let me just
right.
keep it a buck.
Let's for all
But
those.
specifically speaking, China has something that will remind you of a great show called Black Mirror, and a particular episode where people have a social ranking.
Oh my
Ari,
God, can we talk about that?
what is this?
Okay, so first of all, let's real quick. You guys may have those of you who have been here since I've been a part of the show.
Mhm.
I've talked about this already, but this
You
is
have.
like some new stuff, right? Because I said
Yeah.
I would keep you guys updated when some new stuff came. So here it goes. So for those who don't know, China has implemented a social tracking system that is supposed to fully take effect nationwide by 2020. Essentially, if any of you follow Black Mirror, and if you don't, if you want to know kind of what I'm talking about, I should have pulled up the title of it, but search for the episode of Black Mirror. You can do it for me, Gary, while I'm chatting here, where essentially, long story short, everything is based on a social ranking system. Your friends, if you have below a certain number, people don't want you around. You lose your friends, you lose your job, things of that nature. It's serious, y'all. Like what people think about you, and it's other people that rate you. So in a similar fashion, an eerily similar fashion, I should say, China has implemented a nationwide social networking or social ranking system wherein they will rank. You start at a baseline of 1,000 points, and based on your deeds, whether they be good or bad, you are docked points or you gain points. The more points you have, the easier your life is, essentially. The lower points you have, the harder your life is.
Yo.
So that's the basic way I can break it down. But
crazy.
to give you some real examples, so this article comes from Vice News, and it comes from Vice News, and so I had already, like I said, mentioned this before, but we got more now. So China has gone one step further than just the system. Now they are employing actual humans to help with this situation. So in the story on Vice News, we meet a retired woman who was approached by the government to move to a different province, to a neighborhood that houses about 3,000 people. And she is one of 6 individuals that have been chosen to be what they refer to as they're community watchers. And so they literally walk around with a pen and a pad like this, and they observe. They have 6 people entrusted with observing 3,000 people, and it's up to their determination to determine if your actions are a good deed, a bad deed.
Yeah.
This has already started, even though it has not been implemented fully throughout the country yet. It has already started to affect people in the sense that people have been denied high-speed train tickets to go places. People have been denied insurance. People have been denied passports. People's passports are frozen. People have been denied credit. So what essentially started out as a kind of a mini version of the U.S. credit system, so to speak, where, certain things that you do right are rewarded, certain things you do wrong are docked. This is public knowledge. It's meant to publicly shame people into being good people. It's, to me, a walking nightmare. Like, I would be running so far out of,
this is so hilarious.
I can't even is all I can say.
This is hilarious.
It's crazy to me that so let me just say real quick, in the video, in the thing, there's a woman walking around, and apparently in this province, it's probably a northern province of China, cold, they have these booths where people can sit and wait for presumably bus, public transportation, to shelter themselves from the cold. She walks into this booth. There we go. You guys can tune in right now. For those that are watching it right now. There we go. So those that are watching right now, she walks into completely not invited, and just asks them, "Oh, what are you doing? Hey, are you in here to keep warm? Are you guys, what are you talking about in here?" I would lose my entire mind. Okay.
And it speaks to their culture, right?
It does.
It speaks to this culture of always being watched, of always being
collectivism,
led by this overseer, collectivism, this dictatorship style of
leadership.
Of society in your community. And I'm not surprised that they're doing this.
I'm not either.
I'm laughing my tail off, though, because this is funny. And we did find that episode that you were talking about of Black Mirror. That's called Nosedive. For those that are tuned in who want to go back and watch that, this Nosedive episode is so close to what we're talking about that I'm not surprised. I am excited to see, and I use the word excited with quotes. I'm excited to see where this will go and the trends that this will follow. Because the big question is, if this just so happened does lower crime, will other states, countries, continents decide to implement?
Folks, let me pose this question to you. Do you think that would ever survive here? Like, do you think that would survive here?
The question would be is where? If it could survive,
if it could survive, where? Because it's certainly...
Like, would it be in a conservative state? Would it be in a liberal state?
It would have to. There's no way that LA, California, okay, is going to be like, yeah, I just don't think Americans.
Or let me ask this. So let's extrapolate this a little bit.
This is so interesting.
Today, we are judged when we go for a job based on our Instagram posts, based on what's on LinkedIn, based on what's on social media, on our public profiles.
Right.
And companies, whether it's right or wrong, the employers, those hiring HR personnel, are looking at what we do socially to have a determination of what we can do within their company, whether we're hired or not, or position, whatever the case is. So in a very rudimentary way, it's already occurring today. It's just not on the books as a government entity. Now, take that concept and let's pair it with the idea that if you had a high enough social clout, right? There's an app called Clout.
Yes.
That not a lot of people use.
Not a lot, but a lot. I do. A lot of of agencies do.
Yeah, some people use Clout, and I thought about this idea of something called prestige, where the higher we are, the better we are, the more opportunities we have. So if I pair this to, and if our clout or whatever is high enough, then we've got better opportunities, then the inverse is true.
Right.
What's to say that in America we don't implement something on the personal, not in government, but so on the private sector side that has a very similar impact that we're already seeing today with social media as a whole?
Oh, I think that is already true today.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but something specifically that does this, but not by the government.
I still think it's wrong.
You still think
it's wrong? I still
wrong?
think it's wrong. Because let me tell you something. Like, I own a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that a friend of mine, if she's watching right now, a friend of mine and I get into this debate about a bit, in that she's like, now, granted, she owns a PR company. I own a marketing company. Same, we overlap a bit, but not exactly the same. She is of the opinion, like, if you curse on your personal page, you do any of that, I'm not giving you my business. And I'm like, it's my personal page. Like, I've got a business page for that. And like, I don't friend people I do business with unless I'm actually a friend. That's the way my personal Facebook works. Like, if you're on my personal Facebook, I don't do business with you. You got LinkedIn for that. You got my, business Twitter for that. You got my business Facebook for that. I'm going to say what I want to say on my personal Facebook because that's mine to say. And if you don't like it, you can kindly exit stage left. Yeah. And that's fine. But she is of the thing that, like, well, when you own a business, everything that you do personally and everything you say on your, well, guess what? Sorry, this is why we own two separate, we agree to disagree on that because I'm going to say what I want to say on my personal one. So I would be the type of person affected by this because I would be like, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to post what I want to say. I'm going to say what I want on my Facebook Live. I'm going to do what I want on my Facebook stories because it's mine to do that on. And I think that it's incredibly oppressive. I mean, let's not even start talking about people physically walking around public spaces and asking you what you're talking about, what you're doing while you're in a space
that was a bit much.
That was a lot. Like, that was something that would, like, the inner Jersey girl in me would have come out real quick. Like, excuse you, what are you doing? Why are you here? Like, I just don't think that's something that would fly easily here.
See, that's what I'm saying though. I think that aspect of it, somebody actually interacting with you directly to say, hey, what are you doing? That wouldn't fly. But what I do see is that it's the behind the scenes, of
but that's already happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's already happening.
So if we can do it behind the scenes, I could see a company moving into this niche space, which is something that clout should be a lot bigger than what it is, moving into this space, and you get perks, discounts, other things based on how high your score is.
See, I'm shocked that somebody hasn't already put out a lawsuit against employers using things that's on you. Because even journalists, like, Like you will see journalists on Twitter that have their personal Twitters that say, my opinions are not that of the New York Times or whatever the case may be. So why should me who is a private business owner, why should my opinions on my personal Facebook, not my company's, not anybody, why should that be
character?
I get it, but like,
if you was on your personal
but
page,
if I'm
like,
but if
I
I'm
hate
sitting
the
there saying
sphere.
I hate, okay, get that, but at the
Yeah.
same time, do I not? Where do we cross the line of what is my
That's a great
opinion,
question.
and like what is libel? What is
So,
defamation? Like
I'll-
am I not allowed to feel like I don't like this company or this entity
No,
or this thing?
I think you are always. I think, but and
You
at
just
the
can't
same-
say it.
No, and at the same time, just like you have freedom of speech,
You're not
there are
free from the consequences
there's
of speech.
exactly, there are consequences associated with it. And from a business perspective, I used to feel the same way you felt. Then I truly enveloped the idea that you do business with people you know, trust, and like. Right? That means you have to build a personal relationship with people you do business with. And those are usually the businesses that last longer, the ones that have a personal connection, right? So I had to migrate away from this is business, I'm gonna keep you here, this is personal, I had to build the synergy on both aspects to have stronger relationships, so I can also see why what I do in my personal space will affect my business, which happens when Mike posts something on Facebook. I'm around the corner. I'm looking because I want to see what's going on. No, I'm just joking, Mike. But the
Kinda.
But the idea, maybe. But the idea is true.
I get that, but I also, I counter that with like, I think that we can go too far.
I believe you.
I think and I think
I
it
agree
has
with you.
gone too far. At what point am I not allowed to say anything anymore? I don't have to agree with your political alignings to do great work for you.
But is it wrong for somebody to not want to hire you
It's
because
not.
they don't align with your personal beliefs?
It's not, but it's foolish.
You think
I think it's foolish. If I'm the best person to get the job done
Then
for
that
you, then
shouldn't
you're a
matter.
fool.
Then my whatever shouldn't matter.
That's irrelevant, because
I
if
feel
I'm not
that.
interjecting that into my job, the job that I'm doing for you, then you're closed-minded.
Yeah.
That's silly, because if you think that you're going to operate in this world, and whether they say it or not, we'll just become a society of closeted people
We will.
who, feel a certain way but never say that. And I've always said, like, if somebody's a bigot or racist or whatever, I prefer to know.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer you come out with your ish and let me know who I'm dealing with right away. So, like, for me, it's not, that wouldn't be an issue if somebody vehemently disagreed with me politically, but they were the best person for the job. I'm hiring that person because I'm thinking above that. That doesn't matter to me. Like,
What if they were a racist, a bigot, and all this stuff on social media, and it's their personal page? Do you?
No, I get it. I mean, I get where this.
You see how it's
No, I
complicated.
see it's complicated,
And I don't think there's a right or wrong
I think every
answer.
situation's got to be assessed like
It's-
for
it's-
itself. For
it's
me, like,
difficult.
I have a very hands-off in terms of like meeting my
Sure.
I have a digital agency, so my clients are in Mexico. They're all over the place. Sometimes I don't even ever meet them in real life. I might Skype, FaceTime, whatever. So for me, it's a little less hands-on in the sense that, like, I'm gonna have to have FaceTime all the time with people. Like, they just, a lot of times I just find that what I do, they just are like, can you do this job for me? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Like, maybe I've been fortunate in that way. Maybe I've positioned myself in that way. I don't know. Maybe for all I know, there are a lot of clients I've missed out on because of things I said. I will never know.
Never know. It is what it is.
but
But at least you're still smiling,
I am.
and that's all that matters.
Yes, because smiling is very important.
Quite
let's,
indeed.
Let's keep everyone smiling.
Huh.
And with that, this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling area code 713-789-8680.
There it is.
Sparkly.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Folks, that's it. That's all we
That's
got for
it.
you. How about that? How about that, man? For
What an
those that are
interesting
tuned in
show.
right now, happy holidays. Let us
Yeah.
know what you think about Apple. Let us know what you think about China and this tracking system. We definitely
It's
want to know what you think
insane.
about the U.S. versus Google. And last but not least, we just want to keep you all entertained when it comes to technology, things that are living in these digital trends.
Yes.
Because, hey, this is where life is, and we're our fingers are crossed for a great expansion for
Yes.
Apple over in Austin.
Yes.
So, all right, where can the good people reach you if they want to know what's going on in your life on the personal
Yes.
side, not the or the business
Or
side
the
as well?
business, because
Yeah.
that's actually more. That's
Two
kind of
separate though,
separate, but
equal
yeah,
maybe.
I guess.
Wait a minute.
It's debatable. It depends on the day of the week. You can find me on the Facebooks,
Mhm.
Twitter, Snapchat, Insta, and LinkedIn at Dish with Ari.
There it is.
Also, you can find a whole lot more of us on Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, folks. Would you say Patreon?
Yeah.
It sounds like some Pontchartrain. It sounds like something from
Isn't
New
it
Orleans.
weird?
No, it's all right. It's all
Sometimes,
good.
like, sometimes
Patreon.
We're in Patreon.
Ooh. Yeah, we're doing some exclusive stuff. We're working on some
Yes.
ideas to bring some exclusive. There's already exclusive content there, but we're gonna give you some stuff directly from Technocrats.
And we want to hear
for
like
our
some
people.
things that you guys would like to hear. Like, what would you like to see? Would you like to see some product unboxings?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of cool stuff would you like to see us do that we are not doing already that we can do there when we have, when we're not limited to our little time slot kind of situation.
Yeah.
We can just do us.
We can cut up.
Wall out, cut out, do what we want to
Yeah,
do.
we've got some
You know,
ideas.
we got
though.
ideas,
We've got
but
some
let us
stuff coming.
know.
Let us
Hashtag
know.
Technocrats.
Yeah, let us know what you want for our Patreon exclusive
Yes.
using the coveted hashtag Technocrats. Get at us. And of course, if you need to reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Email us at the show, technocrats@thesphere.tv. Good folks, we will see you all next time. Deuces.
Peace out.